To access the dry belt easier, you can take off the overflow tank, the radiator coolant. You don't have to, it's just an option to make it easier for you. 10mm socket, and then you get this bolt hopefully right out of the way. There we go. And then lift it up and just push it aside. 15mm wrench. The longer the wrench is, unless you have a nice serpentine belt tool, the longer the wrench, the less work you have to do. Pull down, release the tension, and then take the belt off of the harmonic balancer and follow by going around all the pulleys. 10mm socket, and there are 2 mounting bolts for this serpentine belt tensioner, and we're going to break these bolts free. Quick note, we took the tire off just to get to it through the fender well. Much easier. There we go. Take that right out with the tensioner. So I'm going to put the bolt in the furthest one in the front first, because it was the hardest one to start, so hopefully I can. Now we can install the back one. I got the front one started by hand. And at least thread it in, make sure it makes good contact, it's not cross-threaded. So I'm going to tighten it up with a 1/4-inch ratchet and socket. Because it's 23 Newton meters, you can get a torque wrench in there, go ahead and do it. But in reality of 23 Newton meters, that means that it's not a lot. I'd say probably about 18 foot-pounds, which is the average person tightening with just a ratchet. So just really tighten them up and don't over-tighten. So I'm going to start from the back side here where the tensioner is the alternator, because the belt is going to actually hit the ribs this way and then go up over that pulley. So it might be a little bit easier to start it down here. Go over the alternator, down past that tensioner. So the reason I lowered it to put the top 2 pulleys on, now I can get the rest from down below. So now from the top we have it's on the alternator, the power steering pulley, and the idler pulley. And you gotta make sure your belt is perfectly in the grooves so you don't do any damage to it. And then it's real simple, go around the AC. I'm gonna go up over the water pump with the smooth side of the belt. So it's gonna run like this. And then that's all you have to do is harmonic balancer, still all in the pulleys. I'm going to get the wrench and I'm going to put some tension on that. Start it. You can start on the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. I've got a 15mm wrench on the tensioner, and I'm just going to take some tension off that belt, bring it around. I'm going to try to go from the top because it's kind of in the way there. There we go. See what that looks like, how it's off one groove? That's really important to pay attention to. But for 1 second, I can take my wrench off, readjust it, so that I can get a little bit more throw. And now it will slide right over. So now we can put our overflow tank back on. Just line up the groove in the back by the shock tower. And the bolt hole for the mounting bolt will line right up.